Okay, so you're thinking about becoming a port coordinator. We've got all your RoleCatcher materials right here, and wow, this is a lot more than just ships and cargo.
Yeah, it's a pretty intricate career path. This deep dive is going to really unpack all the details you need to know.
When I hear port, I'll be honest, I'm picturing like those huge container ships.
Right.
But this guide is showing a whole other side, like
Yeah.
enforcing regulations, managing people, even like harbor cleanliness. It's wild.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how many different skills you need to be a port coordinator.
Hmm.
On the one hand, you've got maritime law, the logistics, even like the ISPS code,
The what?
the International Ship and Port Facility Security Code. It's a big deal in the industry. You need to know all the technical
So
stuff.
it's not just like directing traffic in the water?
No, no, no. It's way more than that. But then at the same time, you have to be a people person. You're
Mhm.
negotiating. You're like a diplomat. You're smoothing things over when things get tense.
Oh, I bet.
Imagine this. A customs official is holding up a shipment. Dock workers are ready to walk off the job. And you're caught in the middle trying to make everyone happy.
And it's all before your morning coffee, right?
Exactly.
And what about those shipping companies? Like the ones who own all the massive cargo ships. They must be a big part of a port coordinator's day to day.
Absolutely. They are major players.
Yeah.
You need to understand how they work, what their challenges are.
Yeah.
You're constantly working with them, negotiating schedules and fees, and even things like tariffs.
Tariffs.
Yeah, those taxes on imported and exported goods, it's all connected.
So with all this going on, what does like a typical day look like for a port coordinator?
Well, typical might be pushing it.
Hmm.
Every day is different in this job.
Right.
But let's say you come in one morning, you check the shipping schedule, you talk to the pilots who guide the ships and make sure all the paperwork is in order.
So it's a lot of logistics, basically, like being an air traffic controller, but for boats.
Exactly. But then later that day, you might be breaking up an argument about some damaged
Oh,
cargo.
no.
Or you're out inspecting the port, making sure everything is safe. Or even dealing with an emergency if there's an accident.
I can see how typical isn't really the right word. It sounds pretty intense. But this RoleCatcher guide does say there's a lot of room to grow in this career, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the best things about this job.
Okay.
You can start out assisting someone with more experience and slowly take on more responsibility. Eventually, you could even be running the whole show.
So you could work your way up to managing a team or even a whole port.
Exactly. And the guide even talks about how some port coordinators specialize. They might become the expert in a certain type of cargo,
Oh, interesting.
or they focus on one specific part of how the port operates. Like some people just do container terminals or cruise ships.
Oh, that makes sense. Find your niche. Okay, so there's definitely potential for moving up the ladder. But this has got to be a tough job. Who's actually cut out for this? What kind of person succeeds as a port coordinator? You would need to handle stress like a pro, right? Stay cool under pressure.
Resilience is essential. Think about it. You've got unexpected delays, customers breathing down your neck, the occasional, uh, like a massive storm throws everything off schedule.
Whoa, yeah, a hurricane would probably cause some issues.
Exactly. You have to be able to roll with the punches, adapt to whatever gets thrown at you.
And on top of all that, you need those amazing people skills we were talking about before. Because you're dealing with so many different people, dock workers, government officials, company reps.
It's all about communication.
Yeah.
You're like the bridge between all these different groups.
Yeah.
You have to know how to talk to everyone, find common ground, make sure everyone feels heard.
So you need that balance of the technical stuff and the people skills. That's really interesting. Speaking of the technical side, this RoleCatcher guide was talking about the importance of like always learning new things. It sounds like the port industry is changing really fast.
Oh, absolutely. This industry is constantly evolving. Automation, AI, data analytics. It's really incredible to see how technology is changing the game.
And that's where RoleCatcher's AI platform comes in, right? I'm still wrapping my head around how AI can help you get a job.
It's pretty cutting edge. Basically, RoleCatcher uses AI to look at your skills and experience, and then it finds jobs that are a good fit. It even helps you tweak your resume and practice interview questions.
Wow, that's wild. So you're telling me algorithms can help me write my resume now. What's next?
That's just the tip of the iceberg. AI is becoming more and more important in the port world. As a port coordinator, you need to be ready to adapt to these new technologies.
So it's not just about knowing the stuff. It's about being open to new ways of doing things.
Exactly. And, it's inspiring to see that example profile in the guide. An entry-level coordinator who's actually still studying maritime studies. Talk about dedication.
Wow, that's impressive. It shows you how important it is to keep learning and growing in this field.
It's a career with a real future. And for anyone listening who's thinking about taking the plunge, just imagine yourself making a real difference in how the world is connected. That's what being port coordinator is all about.
It's more than just a job. It's being a part of something huge. Well, that was a fascinating deep dive. From managing ships to mastering maritime law, it seems like port coordinators really keep the world moving.
Absolutely. It's a challenging but rewarding career path.
So for anyone out there who's up for the challenge, this deep dive has hopefully given you a taste of what it takes to succeed as a port coordinator. Until next time.